Welcome everyone to the very first Team Wars Highlights, a new weekly video series in which Magpie and I and Kara will tell you everything you need to know about the previous week of Team Wars. And let's start things off with the Duel of the Week, a hand-picked duel among hundreds, which stood above the rest, which we'll showcase to you, but I won't be the one presenting it to you. Hey Magpie, how are you?
Hey Ankara, how's it going?
Perfectly fine. What do you have in store for us today?
Yeah, we got a riveting duel this week. So many duels going on, but the duel of the week was without a doubt the clash between ASAP and Shiny Sophion from Shrimp Squad and Bricks and Potatoes respectively. Now Sophion starts with the Recon, which forces ASAP to preemptively activate the Onslaught. The Recon then special summons a Wiz. Now Beatdown is activated and the 1300 Recon gets over the Princess, with Wiz negating the banish effect. Now Wiz goes in for the attack. This would put ASAP at 2k life, but then Onslaught special summons a Paladin with 2300 attack in attack position. Then all of a sudden an enemy controller comes out from the hand, tributing the Recon for the Paladin, and now this is lethal. Shrimps are about to be 7-3 just like that. Wiz attacks. The next up is Paladin, and it's game over. But wait, there is a Kuriboh. Now if that isn't astonishing enough, ASAP ends up winning the duel on the very next turn. With Paladin, he summons a Sage, and then special summons a 2800 Amazoness Tiger, exact lethal. It's not just the excitement this duel brought that makes it the duel of the week, but the significance it had on the outcome of this game. This was the turning point for Shrimps that led them to their victory. And that brings us to our next segment. With 28 teams playing this week, 14 matches, we have narrowed it down to 2 teams and 1 match, our featured match. Who is it this week, Ankara?
The this week match will be Pharaohs versus Murdering, because it was an amazing match for so many reasons. The first one because it was the revenge of last season playoffs match when Murdering defeated Pharaohs 10-9. The second because this match was so close, going back and forth in between the two teams with no decks going on crazy win streaks. And finally, just look at the rosters these two teams brought to the match. Only top tier players with 2 World Championship participants, BK and Negao, who by the way faced each other during the match, giving us a preview of World Championships. Now let's go on to the MVP of the week and the power ranking. Magpie, what do you have for us this week?
Well, the power rankings are a new feature of the league. If you guys recall in Season 2, each team had their players post their individual stats in the respective team channels. For Season 3, the top performing players in terms of round wins and a whole variety of other factors get displayed on a separate ladder that ranks them in terms of how they performed and other stats. Now there were 2 players that performed very well, but number 1 and our player of the week is Creeping Death's Crucius, who went on a 7-1 run with Amazoness against the newly formed Indonesian team Nusantara Warriors. Now, special mention must go to ASAP Turtle from Shrimp Squad, who went 7-1 overall and 6-0 with Fur Hives and 1-1 with Amazoness, bringing his team from the brink of defeat to a comfortable winning position against Bricks and Potatoes. Now let's take a look at all the other matches for this week and the division standings after the conclusion of all the matches in week 1. Take it away, Ankara.
Thanks Magpie. So the first division we're gonna look at is Chicken Game, with Animal Place taking the lead with a 10-3 victory against Forbidden Memories, thanks to an amazing performance of Bobby and VLO. Tied seconds we have the Renegades and Zodiac with 2 10-6 victories respectively against Chilling with Chilla and Nova Gang. 4th place is currently going to Curry Bandits, who lost only 9-10 to X Enters, followed by Chilling with Chilla, Nova Gang and Forbidden Memories. Then we have the Dark Sanctuary division, with Raisin taking the first place after beating GLF Lions 10-6. Second place is currently going to the Three Kings, who managed to beat Garuda 10-7 with only For Hire's decks. SunClan is third after defeating Forbidden Ones 10-8 just before Excenters, who won against Curry Bandits 10-9. The rest of the division being Forbidden Ones, Garuda and GLF Lions in that order. And now let's go on to Fallen Paradise, with Odyssey leading the way after an impressive streak of Sturban, who pushed the score from 4-4 against the Immortals to 10-4. The usual suspects have the second place after defeating the Academy of Duel Links 10-6, followed by Shrimp Squad, who beat Bricks and Potatoes 10-7 thanks to the amazing comeback of ASAP and his 7-1 score. In fourth place we have Bless RNG, who won against Abusement Park 10-8, and AP is in fact ranked 5th, followed by Bricks and Potatoes and the Immortals. And last but not least, the Savage Colosseum division, led by Creeping Death after their victory over Nusantara Warriors 10-6, thanks to an unbelievable performance of Crucius going 7-2 with Holy Guard Amazonas. In second we have Royal Card Fighters, who won against MFN Clan 10-7, followed by Pharaohs in third place thanks to their 10-8 victory over Murder Inc. The rest of the division is Murder Inc., MFN Clan, Nusantara Warriors and the Academy of Duel Links in that order. And this brings us to our last segment, the segments which will change every week depending on what happens during the previous week of Team Wars. This time we'll be talking about For Hires. Indeed, this archetype has been a growing concern during the previous week of Team Wars because it went on crazy win streaks in several matches, and we even saw Three Kings winning against Garuda with only For Hire's decks. So Magpie, what's your opinion about the archetype? Is it an issue, and do you have any idea of what we could do about it?
I don't think there is anything to be discussed at all. We should just leave it as it is. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! And it has been this way since. Despite the crazy win streaks and dominance the deck has shown, there have been the same performances with other decks as well. Just take a look at Creeping Death's Crucius, who went on he went 7-1 with Amazons, and he defeated 3 For Hire decks along the way. VLO, he had the same performance with Amazons for animal plays as well. So the point to remember is that the Team Wars is the most competitive league for Duel Links. And when you're limiting something, you're limiting the competition because you're limiting players to showcase the whole talent by limiting the resources. What do you think, Ankara?
Well, I'm kind of on board with you, because my opinion is that, like, some people were talking about banning some cards from For Hires or limiting the number of For Hires you can play or stuff like that, but in my opinion, if you want Team Wars to stay competitive, you have to stay true to the game, to Duel Links. And right now,
Exactly.
in the metas, in Konami's meta, well, For Hires is a top tier deck. Thing is, teams have to adapt to that, like tech cards, counters and all that, and luck will always be a part of the game. So my opinion would also be leave it as it is, and just people need now to prep against that, and that goes for my team, Chilling with Chilla. We lost to For Hire's win streak.
Yeah, also bear in mind, this was the very first week of Team Wars. So it did catch people by surprise somewhat. I mean, BNP, they did not plan for that many For Hires. So I think next week, when people, they know the dominance of the deck, and they bring counters to it, then maybe we'll see something different.
This concludes the first ever Team Wars highlights. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give us opinion and feedbacks.
And don't forget to check out the Duel Links Team Wars Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Duel Links Team Wars, and join the Discord and subscribe on YouTube.
May the Force be with you, and see you all next week.